All right. Welcome everyone to the Movement Yoga warm-up. I'll be working with Kathy Cormier this morning, and she'll be here momentarily. If you all would like to see anything specifically, put it in the chat. It's a short class, but we'll try to get to it. And are you ready, Kathy? All right, here we go. Come on up. All right.
Can't see. I need some sunglasses.
It's hard to be a yoga model. We have some new lights today. So
They are
Kathy,
blind.
so we can see Kathy's beautiful face and not just her shadow. Yeah. Excellent. All right. So let's find our feet, hands on hips, and just marching it from side to side. Now grounded down through the feet, let's rock it from side to side. And finding our center. From here, lifting heels, lifting toes, rolling out our feet. And then grounded through the toes, grounded through the heels, finding our center. At this point, I'll invite you to narrow your stance as you challenge your balance. Tight as you go to be feet together. If that's too tight, of course, work your feet wider. Relax shoulders, hands find the heart. A light press of your thumb against your sternum as you line up each finger. Relax shoulders, soft tuck of the chin, watching as your breath flows in. And watching as your breath flows out. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, and allow you to roll your hands over as you bring your hands by your side. Let's warm up our joints before we work through our sun cells. Stepping one foot back, other foot front, grounded down through the balls of the toes. So the other way. Yeah. So you wanna, that's the foot, yeah. And we're gonna circle the ankle, the knee, and the hip. You can bring hands on hips for a little more stability. And then taking those circles the other way. And then grounded down through that foot, we can step it on back, step the other foot front, grounded down through the balls of the toes, circling the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Inviting in more flow. And then taking those circles the other way. Now grounded down through that foot, we'll step it back in. Feet together, we'll come down and cap the knees with the hands and circling our knees. Inviting in more flow. And then taking those circles the other way. Now coming on up, feet hip width apart, we can support the back of the hips with the hands, the fingers face down. I always think of teacup hands here. So your hands are supporting the top of the glutes. You're up here. You're all the way up. You're erect. Yeah. Feet hip width apart. We got our teacup hands with the fingers face down. And we're circling our hips. Starting small and then letting it get bigger. Inviting in more flow. Big becomes small as we move back towards our center. And taking it the other way, starting small and then letting it get bigger. Big becomes small as we move back towards our center. Keeping our hips relatively stable, a hand on each shoulder, starting small as we circle our shoulders. And then letting it get bigger. Inviting in more flow. Big becomes small as we move back towards our center. And starting small, taking it the other way. And then letting it get bigger. Big becomes small as we move back towards our center. From here, arms in the air like you either do or don't care. I'll cue left and right. If you're on the other side, no big deal. I know Facebook switches things around. Thumb and forefinger of the left hand catch the right wrist. We can traction that right shoulder. And then starting to circle the shoulders one way as we circle the hips the other. Starting small and then letting it get bigger. Inviting in more flow. Big becomes small as we move back towards our center. Thumb and forefinger of the right hand catch the left wrist. We can traction that left shoulder. And then circling the shoulders one way as the hips go the other. Starting small and then letting it get bigger. Inviting in more flow. Big becomes small as we move back towards our center. Releasing hands down by our side. Let's come out of those shoulders a little bit. As we inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. On the exhale, just let them drop. A couple more times. Up. Just let them drop. One more time. Up. And just let them drop. I'll ask you to go sideways, Kathy. Moving towards Sun Salutation A. How are you in frame? You look good? Mm-hmm. You want to find the front of the frame, maybe? Maybe that front block? Yeah. All right. Moving towards Sun Sal A. We'll take it in 3 pieces. Arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, hands back down. 2 more times like this. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. You might want to grab a brick for the next one, or not, up to you. Inhaling, arms out to the side, and then overhead. On the exhale, leading with the heart, as you find a forward fold. Take a breath to arc the back. You could use that brick. You could also cap the knees. On the exhale, rounding the spine, strong tuck of the chin. You might lower that brick or catch the back of the shins. On the inhale, arms out to the side, finding your neutral spine, leading with back heart, arms and then overhead. Exhaling, hands back down. 2 more times like this. Inhaling up, observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Letting an inhale arc the back as we lift chin and tail. You can cap the knees, that's that one, yeah. On the exhale, rounding the spine, now catching the back of the shin, strong tuck of the chin. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall, hands by your side. 1 more to go here. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Letting an inhale bring length to the spine as you lift chin and tail. Rounding the spine as you fold. Strong tuck of the chin. Feel the stretch in your low back. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead, finding your neutral spine. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun Sal A. This first one I will not cue Vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, finding your forward fold. Letting an inhale bring length to the spine. Keeping that length as you round the spine, rounding down through the hands, stepping 1 foot back, and then the other as you find your down dog. As we hold this first down dog of this practice, I'll invite you to walk your dog strongly as you bend 1 leg deeply, and then the other, grounding down to the opposite heel. Seeing how everything feels this morning, what feels tight, what feels right, what feels somewhere in between. From a place of movement, I'll invite you to move back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. Despite the lack of overt movement, you're still breathing, your heart's still beating, your mind's still moving. And by watching your breath as it flows in and out, finding a little more space between each breath, each beat of the heart, each thought. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump. Take a breath to create length when you arrive, lifting chin and tail. Exhaling, rounding the spine, strong tuck of the chin. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. Number 2, I'll cue easy vinyasa. Listen closely. Arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, leading with your heart as you find your forward fold. Take a breath to arc the back. Now arching the spine, strong tuck of the chin as you ground down through the hands and find plank pose. Stepping one foot back and then the other. Holding the plank for 3 or 4 long, slow breaths. Feeling that connection between head, hips, and heels. You can walk your plank if you're out of frame.
Nope, my head was disembodied.
Be careful though. Yeah, no discombobulation. As we hold the shape, easeful breaths in. Easeful breaths out. Yeah, you look great.
I think I was out of the frame before.
It's all good. Look at that plank. Such a strong core. One more long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, drawing navel to spine as you lift those hips high and holding our down dog for another 3 or 4 breaths. Either holding your down dog in stillness, seeing what arises, or feeling free to add some movement, stirring it up, doing what feels right and good for you. Finding that mind-body connection, that's one of the essences of a yoga practice. Yoga means connection, and we want to connect lots of things. Hands to feet, legs to arms, front, back, back, mind to body. Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you find a little more space in the low back, lifting the tailbone up, and looking between the hands as you step. Or take a jump from it. Take a breath to find length. Keeping that length as you fold. On the inhale, riding the breath up, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. We'll do one more sun sale. We'll do the more traditional vinyasa. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, leading with your heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. Now rounding the spine, keeping the elbows soft as you find the top of a push-up. Finding that push-up yoga style, feel free to use the knees or not. Elbows shave the ribs. It's a tricep push-up. Inhaling into a back bend, either cobra with the hips down or lifting the hips up for your up dog. And then back over the toes. You might also choose to use the knees as you find your down dog for 4 or 5 long, slow breaths. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your breath flows in and as your breath flows out. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath in. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or take a jump. Take a breath to create length. Keeping that length as we fold. Inhaling, hands over hip pose. Exhaling, standing tall. The traditional second warm-up exercise, Sun Sal B flow style. Inhaling into tall spine. Exhaling, bending the knees and finding your chair. Inhale and hold. Exhale, go lower, finding more strength in your legs. On the inhale, rising on up, finding a back bend at the top, the city lights posture. Exhaling a big swan dive over, leading with the heart. Inhaling, finding length as you are. On the exhale, folding, making your way back to down dog as you will. You might choose to do the push-up and the back bend, you might not. Find a way to move through space that works for you. Always flowing with grace, with composure. It's your practice. From down dog, flow style, feet together. Right leg high for the 3-legged dog. Looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher, feel that glute. And then flexing the foot as you sweep it on through. landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, back leg long, back leg strong, inhaling up, warrior one. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you would, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. And your vinyasa could be that easy vinyasa, just finding your plank and holding for a few breaths, connecting with your own inner strength. Second side, feet together, left leg high, high on the right toes. Looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as you sweep it on through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead, warrior one. And then riding your exhale back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will. Other choices might be all fours. Another great choice would be a child's pose. Always connecting your effort with your ease. Not too much, not too little. We're always, was it the middle bear? I forget which bear. One bear, the porridge was just right. Was it the little bear or the middle bear?
I think it was
You're the ex-children's librarian.
I should remember. Yeah, I remember.
Not too hot, not too cold. Whatever bear it was.
The just right bear.
Just right there.
Aren't we all just right bears, though?
That's what we're moving towards with our daily yoga practice. In, down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just go a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or take that jump to the front of you. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. On the inhale, stay low. Knees over toes, hands overhead, chair pose. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat. Welcome to the day. Exhaling, standing tall with your neutral spine. Let's do one more beat. We'll throw a little variation into the three-legged dog. Inhaling into tall spine. Exhaling, bending the knees as you find your chair. Inhale and hold. Exhale, go lower. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat, big V with the arms. Exhaling a big swan dive over, enjoying the stretch. Inhaling, creating length as we arc the back. And then arching the spine as we fold again. And making our way back to down dog, as you will. Take your time. You don't always have to do the push-ups, even though you are the yoga model. From down dog, flow style, feet together. Right leg high, high on the left toes. Pressing your right armpit down towards the floor to stabilize that right shoulder. Lifted leg straight as you stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, letting the weight of the leg open up that hip. Keep pressing that armpit down towards the floor. Could you lift that knee up higher? And higher. And higher. And then looking between the hands, sweeping that foot through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead, warrior one. And then riding your breath back down to low lunge. Take your time, find your flow, follow your breath. All right, second side, feet together, left leg high, high on the right toes. Pressing that left armpit down towards the floor to stabilize the shoulder as we stack the hips, lifted leg straight. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. Keep pressing that left armpit down towards the floor. Could you lift that knee up higher? And higher. And higher. And then looking between the hands, sweeping that foot through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side, and then overhead, inhaling. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog. As you will, take your time. You don't, even though you're on camera, you don't have to do all the push-ups. Feel free, in the midst of being a yoga model, to find a bit of your own practice. As we hold down dog, 3 or 4 long, slow breaths. Coming back to Samavriti, even breath. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths in. And make sure you keep the structure of those shoulders super engaged. I don't want to take it too far in the sense of sensation. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step. Or take that jump to the front of your mat. Let it inhale, bring length to the spine. Arch. Exhaling, arching as we fold. On the inhale, knees over toes, hands overhead, finding your chair. Exhaling, taking a lower. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, standing tall. I'll ask you to face camera, Captain. I'll invite you to find a lotus flower at your heart as we connect the heels of the hands, thumb and forefinger, little finger and thumb connect, the other fingers separate. A soft tuck at the chin, admiring our lotus. A lotus is a yoga symbol. It's a flower that floats on the surface of a pond. Its root goes down through the water into the mud, much like our feet ground down into the ground. From that ground, it stretches up through the water. It floats on the surface and faces the sky, much like the crown of our head stretches tall. I'll invite you to take your lotus from heart up to the sky. I'll invite you to either to look down to the ground, very grounding, off to the horizon, or lifting the face to look up towards that flower. Long, smooth breaths in. Equally long, smooth breaths in. From here, I'll invite you to roll the hands over as you bring your hands by your side. Finding a press of the palms, touching thumb to forehead. May our thoughts be bright. Bringing thumb to lips. May our words be bright. Thumb to heart. May our actions be bright. And then rolling the hands over, hands by our side. One big breath in, arms out to the side, the fingers widen. On the exhale, hands by our side, the fingers down. And then hands find the heart. And then I'll invite you to bring one hand onto the heart, the other hand on top. And a soft bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga. And as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world, the light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, Kath, for practicing.
Thank
Kath.
you, Mark.
Thank you at home for practicing with us
Thank you.
for our movement yoga warm-up.